Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a fascinating topic that, honestly, so many people get completely wrong. We are breaking down the real cost of living abroad. And we're going to do this by looking at two entirely different expat experiences, which prove that your budget has way less to do with where you move and, well, practically everything to do with how you choose to live once you get there. We'll be breaking this down using what we call the anchor and adjust method. Trust me, it's going to completely reframe how you think about moving overseas. Okay, let's dive into this. 3,178 Australian dollars, that's about 75,000 Thai baht. Now you might be thinking, hey, that's a pretty generous total monthly budget for Southeast Asia, right? No way. That number is strictly the monthly rent for one expat couple currently living in Koh Samui, Thailand, a country that is famously known worldwide for being a super budget-friendly destination. Crazy, right? And that brings us perfectly to this brilliant quote from Kiani Adamson. She's an Australian content creator and business owner living that exact Koh Samui lifestyle. When people ask her, hey, is it expensive to live in Thailand? Her answer is simply, how long is a piece of string? Because, as she points out, you can absolutely spend $200 a month on rent, or you can spend a massive $10,000 a month. It entirely depends on what you want out of your life there. And this perfectly sets up our core theme for today. Geography doesn't dictate your cost of living, your lifestyle does. Let's move to and see how this builds today. We'll cover 1. The expat price tag, 2. Why Koh Samui costs $3K, 3. The Hurghada baseline, 4. Cost of daily convenience, and 5. Designing your expat lifestyle. Section 1. The expat price tag, myth versus reality breakdown. You know, there's this massive myth that packing up and moving to a developing country automatically guarantees dirt cheap living. But the reality? It's far more nuanced than that. You actually carry your expectations and your personal non-negotiables with you across borders. Just look at this extreme contrast. We've got a double-income no-kids couple in Thailand dropping over $3,000 on a luxury pool villa. Contrast that with an expat family of 3 living in Hurghada, Egypt, spending just $300 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment near the sea. And get this, with water and electricity included. Both are popular, affordable expat spots, but the price tags are literally universes apart because their lifestyles are entirely different.
Section 2. Why Koh Samui costs $3K, the price of tropical luxury.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer range of choices you have in a place like Koh Samui. I mean, you could rent a very basic local flat in the exact same area for just 15,000 baht. You could bump that up to a 1-bedroom Thai-style bungalow for 25,000. But our Australian expat couple, they went straight for the 75,000 baht option. They consciously chose that mid to high range because it offered the specific standard of living they were already used to and, honestly, the one they preferred.
So what does 75,000 baht actually get you? Well, it buys a massive 3-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom, 2-story villa. They've got a private pool. They have an in-unit washing machine, which, if you didn't know, is actually a huge premium over there. They also specifically needed a private grass garden for their 12-kilo Cavendal dog, Murphy. Plus, they happily pay an extra 1,000 baht every fortnight to have a cleaning agency come in and do all the wet cleaning. These aren't basic survival needs, these are deliberate lifestyle choices that seriously drive up that base cost. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is where the budget truly balloons. Food. Get this, in 6 months of living in this gorgeous villa, they have not cooked a single meal, literally 0. Since they both run businesses, they value their time way more than cooking. So they're dropping about 1,000 baht a week on basic toiletries and breakfast, 3,000 baht on lunches and snacks, and a whopping 3,500 baht ordering dinners via Grab or eating out. By constantly relying on that daily convenience, their food budget drastically inflates compared to someone who just buys local produce and cooks at home. And ironically, as we'll see in a minute, the only one getting home-cooked meals in this house is their dog.
Section 3. The Hurghada baseline, grounded family living. Let's pivot over to Egypt for a second and look at a completely different, family-oriented approach where practicality really takes the front seat. This expat family of 3 lives incredibly comfortably, but they make very grounded, practical choices. Like we mentioned, their rent is $300 a month, utilities included. But check out their food budget. They spend about $400 a month on groceries because they primarily cook at home. They do still eat out at nice places with meat or fish 2 to 3 times a week, but that only runs them about $100 a month. Add in $45 for high-speed home and mobile internet, and maybe $100 for daily taxis. It is a highly efficient, incredibly grounded budget. But practical absolutely does not mean they are depriving themselves. Actually, scratch that. It's the exact opposite. because their base costs are kept so low they can effortlessly afford some fantastic high-quality extras. For example, their 10-year-old daughter attends an officially accredited American school, which includes a school bus and has no homework, for an incredible $1,200 a year. A year! Private boxing or tennis lessons with a coach, $10 a session. Kids' hip-hop dance classes are $5 to $7. A yearly gym membership? Around $100. They are living a rich, super active life. They just aren't paying that premium price tag to get it.
So what's the bottom line here? According to our source in Egypt, a total monthly income between $1,000 and $2,000 is all a family of 3 requires to live in Hurghada completely without holding back. If you're pulling in around $2,000 a month, you are living totally stress-free, covering a great education, hobbies, and dining out.
Section 4. Cost of daily convenience, transport, and luxuries.
So the crucial point is, where exactly does that massive gap in these budgets come from? Well, transportation is a huge factor. Over in Koh Samui, our couple prioritized ultimate convenience. They paid $10,000 cash for a high-power Yamaha scooter, $20,000 cash for a Suzuki Swift car, and on top of that, they still rent an extra scooter for $169 a month just so they can travel independently whenever they want. Now contrast that with Hurghada, where our expat family simply flags down a taxi for $1 to $3 a ride, or if they wanted to, could rent a car entirely for $300 a month with 0 maintenance costs. And then, of course, we have the personal indulgences. Remember how I said the couple in Thailand never cooks? Well, they actually pay $184 a month to have home-cooked food delivered weekly for their dog. Add in $127 for a classic gym membership for 2, $116 for just 4 sessions of reformer Pilates, regular online shopping hauls from Shein, which basically functions like their local Kmart, and beauty treatments, like a $38 Russian manicure. Look, while these things are arguably a lot cheaper than they would be back in Australia, importing this highly specific Western lifestyle abroad is exactly what heavily bloats that monthly bottom line.
Section 5. Designing your expat lifestyle. The final takeaway.
All right, so we've seen the luxury route and we've seen the practical family route. Now, how do we actually apply this data to your own plans? This is where you need to use that anchor and adjust method we talked about at the start. Step 1, anchor your base costs. Be honest, are you demanding a luxury 3-bedroom pool villa, or are you perfectly happy in a modest local apartment? Step 2, make the hard decisions on convenience versus practicality. Are you going to cook from local markets or rely on delivery apps every single day? And step 3, budget for your absolute non-negotiables. If you literally cannot live without your weekly Pilates or private tennis lessons, factor them in right now. You absolutely must honestly assess what you refuse to give up before you can even begin to calculate your true cost of living. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to ponder today. Are you moving for a cheaper country, or are you moving for a cheaper lifestyle? Because as we've clearly seen here, a budget-friendly geographic location is not going to save you money if you demand an uncompromising luxury lifestyle. It's all about the choices you make on the ground, day in and day out. Really think about what your true non-negotiables are. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.